A warm welcome to you and thank you for joining us on the program. Polls have closed in Tunisia, where nearly 7 million people were eligible to vote in the country's parliamentary election, a legislative race. Some analysts have said they expect to end with no clear winner. It all began on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. local time in the presence of local and international observers. Voters went to the polls to elect in 217 representatives from about 15,000 potential candidates. This is the second such vote since the 2014 adoption of Tunisia's constitution, following the overthrow of Zain El Abidine Ben Ali 3 years earlier. Ruth.
Indeed, Jerry, two rival parties, Ennahda and the group of the incarcerated presidential finalist Nabil Karim, both secured top position in the legislative elections on Sunday. However, two surveys published by Tunisian institutions estimated that the Islamist-inspired Ennahda party won the largest number of seats, that is 40 out of 217, compared to between 33 to 35 for Nabil Karim's party. Preliminary results are expected on Wednesday, and for more, we're joined by Hanen Zib, an investigative journalist in Tunis. Hello, Hanen.
Bonjour. Ce qu'on peut retenir des législatives, c'est d'abord qu'elles se sont déroulées dans de bonnes conditions, grosso modo.
What we observed from the legislative elections is that they took place in generally good conditions. No major incidents except for a few electoral offences that cannot bring out the outcome of the election to question. However, what is striking in these legislative elections is that the non-participation rate at 60% shows once again that Tunisian people no longer have confidence in the political class.
Of the presidential election gave us what many have called an unexpected outcome. Should we expect the same trend for the legislative elections?
The results of these legislative elections were expected. That is, a collapse of the next parliament with the absence of the strong political parties that have majority rule. The preliminary results reveal a diversity of parties with different ideologies that will have to organize themselves into coalitions in order to lead the country. But it's not easy. According to results announced by the polling institutes at the end of the elections, there is currently an Islamist bloc represented by Ennahda, which has about 40 seats, and the Alliance of Dignity with 17 seats. And on the other hand, there's a so-called modernist bloc represented by Cour de Tunisie party, or the Heart of Tunisia, of jailed Nabil Karim with 33 seats, and then the Free Desturian party, the heir to Ben Ali's party, with 14 seats. But to have majority, you need at least 109 seats. So the question is how they'll get it all together. Thus, the idea of fragmentation of the political landscape and the deepening of political instability in Tunisia. Last question, Hanen. So if the results are confirmed, it will be difficult for any winner to get a majority. Tell us what alliances are already emerging. So the first results in Ennahda resulted in Ennahda being the favorite with 18.29% of the votes, and Cour de Tunisie, or Heart of Tunisia party, with 16%. The other parties had fewer votes than that, with an election turnout of 41%. Now, all this suggests that it will be necessary to make difficult alliances to govern and have the 109 votes in parliament out of the 217 seats. It's likely that the parties of the Islamist ideology or parties close to them will regroup and possibly seek to grab seats obtained by the independent candidates, which represent about 45 seats. Similarly, for parties that are against Islamists, such as Cour de Tunisie and Abir Moussi's Free Party, one thing is certain: the country is in real danger of being ungovernable given the results of the elections, a situation that will become even more complicated with the results of this week's second round of presidential elections and the rise of a populist president.
And
once formed, the government will have a daunting task of reviving the economy and reducing a crippling debt. Thank you, Hanen Zebi, investigative journalist in Tunis, for speaking to us.